Okay, recording has started. Today's round is with Akansha. It's for a product marketing manager role. I have prepared the case study around a company that's a B2B product, and it has similarities of it has similarities with the role that she is appearing for. Uh, and I think there is an interview scheduled next week as well. So I'm just trying to keep this round in line with whatever she can expect from the coming rounds from the company. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Looks like she's here. Okay. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
All good. How are you?
I'm good too. There's just a little bit of a lag. 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I could hear you before I could see you move. So,
Audio is traveling faster.
yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
what's up? How is your Saturday looking like? Any plans for the evening?
None yet. I've just been preparing and I had another TPS.
You look very serious.
I'm all poised and everything. And Bhavna
Mm.
recommended a hot glass of water to keep the temperature cool. So I have that.
Okay,
My pens
awesome.
are here. My notebook is ready. I'm ready to jam.
All right. How long after are you appearing for an interview again? When was the last time you appeared for an interview?
In 2012.
Oh my God, it's too long.
Too long. And that too, that was still sort of a cakewalk because my client had wanted me
Hmm.
to join the new firm. He went from HP to Toshiba and he wanted me to join the advertising team at Toshiba,
Okay.
at Dentsu. At
Hmm.
that point, they had just gotten the business and all. So yeah, that was in 2012 or 13, somewhere around.
Okay, awesome. I think it's a totally fresh start for you, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes then. Cool. So hope you have gone through the format or the case study I've already sent to you. I think that
Yes.
was the fundamental requirement. So I will just begin the interview with a quick round of introduction.
Sure.
Hi, I am Arindam. I am actually looking at the products for Oracle Unity right now. It's a customer data management platform that gathers data from the customer through various experiences, could be online, offline, and we use those data points to come up with effective marketing campaigns, channel experiences, and we basically give insights and some actionables on that data. Okay, so that's what we do as a product. We are now planning to launch in a upcoming Asian country, which is India. Its economy is growing faster than anything right now, and we are seeing a couple of
Sure.
lot of startups that's coming up. So we are looking at this new market segment, and we would like to basically target this new Indian startup segment. And this opening that we have right now is in that particular team that we are uh, starting for India. Okay, so that's a
Okay.
quick background. So let's start it with a quick introduction of yourself as well, and just walk me through what you have done till now and where are you in your professional life.
All right. Okay, so I'm currently working as a product marketing consultant for an up and coming e-learning company. I have extensive experience in account management and advertising, with my expertise areas being advertising, marketing, content creation, user advocacy. I also have some experience in mining insights from data and creating value propositions out of them. I have recently forayed into product management, and I'm absolutely loving it. And I thrive in a fast-paced and dynamic environment. And at this point, I'm looking for an opportunity to use my skills and expertise from building brands to now building products. Um, yeah, so that's a bit about me.
Mhm.
And as we go, if there are any questions, I'll be
All
happy
right.
to answer.
Yeah. What was your experience last time that when you were designing a brand? Just walk me through the process of how the idea came around. How did you go about the positioning? What were the elements that made that brand meet that positioning in the customers market? Just walk me through that.
Okay. So, through my advertising career, which spanned over 6.5, 7 years, I have worked with multiple brands across categories that were FMCG, technology, and healthcare, and all of that. And then there were also home care brands. So, two brands that I would like to highlight. I think I'll sort of take you through the journey there. One was HP, that's Hewlett Packard. We were with the Personal Systems Group for laptops and desktops in the consumer and the commercial spaces. And then there was Dabur. I was handling their flagship product, which is Dabur Chyawanprash, which itself at that point was close to 400 crore category, with Chyawanprash being the market leader at with about 60% market share. So, typical process in advertising is basically you are like I was part of the account management team and responsible for a brand. I was the touch point for the client for everything that happened. I was the center of making everything go around on the brand. So, from getting the brief for whether it's a tactical campaign, something that they want to do on activation or their annual campaign, you get the brief in with the client. Sometimes they will also share with you data from their market research about how things are going, what is the pain point that they see, what is it that they want to address. You bring the brief in, work on it. I would used to work on it myself. Kind of open lines of communication that if this is a particular point. So, for example, for Chyawanprash, we had a painful thing that while mothers do realize the goodness of Chyawanprash, it's very difficult for them to feed it to their child, or sometimes they don't even want to try it. I had gone for a few research interviews myself. Reason being that somebody they know of, they don't even know directly, had told them that they bought a bottle and it kind of tasted like crap, and the child never had it, and the bottle's just lying. So they don't want to put that investment in. And also, okay, it is good, but then what to do and what not to do, kind of a thing. Like maybe we can give Bonvita or something like that, or a Complan, and bridge the gap. So something to identify a need gap and position the product in such a way that it becomes the repertoire of a child's daily life. So we had a campaign. So then I discussed a few. I had a few lines of communication, and we discuss it internally. There's another team which specializes in strategic planning. So take it up with them, discuss those two, three lines with them, open up a couple of them. So we went with, how about when you send your child out in the world, or even if it's for school, you don't know what all that child is doing. So equip the child with the best, sort of like a mother's army. All that nutrition that you're giving your child and the food, that is the army that you're sending the child with outside, that protects the child. So then we brief the creatives once we have a route finalized. We brief them, then they come up with their concepts of TV and ad, and then that goes, whatever the client finalizes, that goes into research. So then I was also central to reviewing the creatives that came out, and seeing whether they fit with the strategy, whether they fit with the brand, are they talking to the mother, are they addressing the pain points that she has had. And then let's say three scripts got finalized, creating animatics for research, again sending them for research, ensuring that everything is in place, the VO is up to date with whatever the client wants to, one, obviously mention and reach out to the mothers, and then are the mothers even getting what we're trying to say. So those were the two things. And after that, the research comes back, then getting into production with vendor coordination and all of that. So that was the process that I took part throughout, and how I was managing all of it, being in the center of everything. So, and then once the campaign is live, how it's doing, whether we are getting any traction from the campaign, are people picking up the product, are they not? And if they're not, then what can we do next year? And then those sales figures will show next year. And that's how it just went on and on.
Okay, so how do you used to collect these data? So, for example, before releasing something, the data that you got from the market, that okay, this is the pain point, etc. And after releasing, then analyzing these campaign performance. I think so. How were you able to gather this data? Was there any
We,
tool or?
we actually, this was outsourced because we were just the advertising agency. However, I was in touch with the market research. IMRS was for Dabur, and they used
Mhm.
to run researches for them on all of their brands.
Okay.
So we used to work with in collaboration with them. Once they used to have their whole brief from the client about what they want to measure and all that, they would come to us that, okay, these are the parameters we're looking at, and this is what we're going to evaluate. And
Mhm.
if we had any say in them, we'd give in our input, and then they would carry out the research. We were invited. I personally did a lot of market research by myself as well. Went to the market, asked marketers whether our shopkeepers whether the product
Mhm.
was being asked for, and if they're not asking for, let's say, Dabur Chyawanprash, if they're going for Baidyanath or Himani, what are they saying and what is the customer saying? uh, so a little bit of qualitative we used to do on ourselves,
Mhm.
and rest of it used to come from the client. So all the big companies used to have their own research partners, and that used to come into us. So
Okay.
data used to come in, then you read the data, understand it, figure out the need gaps, where are the insights, what are the insights. Yeah, that I used to
Okay.
actively be involved in.
All right. So when you think about now a digital product, which typically doesn't have a shape or form, but it's a
Right.
collective understanding of the users of what this product is. So if you have to look at marketing from a digital product perspective, what are the key things that you would see are totally different from a physical product?
I think one is for a digital product. Physical product, you need a lot of point of sale. You need to be, have various touch points with the consumer that are physical, and there's a lot of planning that goes in. It could be experiential, it could be activation, and things like that. Digital, however, in today's time, it's easier to market, especially with YouTube and Facebook and all of those ads, utilizing those. So that's sort of different there, but otherwise the kind of people, the insights that you're going to exploit or take charge of us, that would be a similar process, because you're dealing with people at the end of the day. Yes, they do have very different ways of interacting with a physical product, and how that fits in their need gap and in the hierarchy of their needs and wants as to a digital product. And the touch points would differ, definitely,
Mm-hmm.
and how you talk to them would differ. Like in an ad, even if it's a print ad or a TVC or an outdoor, the language, no matter what you want to communicate, the language and your tone of voice clearly is different. So that I think would be.
Okay, I think we can continue on that thought, and let's take the example of Unity and the Chavanpraj example that you gave, and maybe just add more details towards what you just said. These are the two three differences that I feel. Just try and attempt in terms of having these real life examples of Chavanpraj and the Unity product. Take 2 minutes and
Right.
find out what would be the three things you will speak about each of this product to your target customer.
Okay. For Unity, who am I targeting? Uh,
We can go with
the
the Indian startup segment that we talked about at the beginning.
Okay, and would they be working in the B2B or the B2C space?
It will be B2B, right? Because startups are going to use it for exploiting their users. So you are selling to the startups who are a business.
No, what I mean, those startups that I'm selling to,
Mhm.
if right now I had to pinpoint, would I be picking up a startup
Let's let's
that
let's
would be
let's
a
take
B2B
B2C.
or a B2C?
Let's take
Okay,
B2C for now. Yeah.
B2C. All right. So top three things that I would talk about for Chavanprash to my users, and top three
Yeah.
things that I would talk about for Unity
Yeah.
to my users. Okay. So first seeing, just give me a second to.
Yeah. Sure.
So, okay, so Chavanprash is a product for building immunity, right? And mostly for children, um, say from 5 years to about 13, 14 years, because those are the ages that were still building up on immunity and still falling sick a little more than adults normally do. Um, so the top three things I would say is that it builds your it's completely natural. It's got herbs, and it has the science of Ayurveda behind it. It's good for building immunity. It's been trusted for generations. And the third thing it would be, yeah, okay. So science of Ayurveda, trusted for generations, and that it builds immunity. Those would be my top three things. For Unity, going to a B2B, what would their motivations be to get? So they'd be able to give um, marketing campaigns that are personalized, right?
Mm-hmm.
From their data. Okay. So, from what I understand in the Indian market right now, there is just a lot of constant push from through SMS and emails. There's just a lot of spamming that's happening there, and that annoys the user. So, my pitch to them would be to tailor the marketing experience so that the user would know, the final user, that yes, I would pitch the benefits of personalized marketing, personalized experiences,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, the data segmentation. Centric. And from what I understand of Unity, it does collate data from multiple parties. So it's not just the data that is a secondary or a third party. It's also using the so that's holistic, okay, holistic data. And it's building personalized profiles, it's building individual profiles. So individual customer profiles, data that is holistic, and therefore you can segment your user base, and personalized experiences, so you're not spamming anyone, and you are trying, you tell the customer that you understand them, you know what they are, you can help them connect the dots, and yeah, you are going to be a partner. So those would be my top three points there.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. That's okay. Okay. Maybe we can move on to understanding a little bit about the market that we are talking about. So if we have to size the market right now, say the Indian startup segment, of course we don't have the actual data for a lot many things, but I'm just trying to figure out your thinking process and how you would go about sizing a problem. Because most of the times whenever you're building a case for something, first you have to convince the business stakeholders. If there is no business stakeholder alignment, then product, engineering, design, they will never be in alignment. So I think business alignment is really important. And
Right.
ability to understand the market, and typically being able to size the market, and just put some numbers on the size of the price, that helps organizations and teams move faster towards the goal. So let's try and do a sizing exercise and try to figure out what could be the revenue for maybe the first year or first 5 years for the target segment that we are trying to capture.
Okay. So,
Take assumptions as you want.
okay. So my first assumption, let's say I'm going to target e-commerce companies. If I were to look at that bucket, and so I can therefore factor in. I will factor in Myntra, Flipkart, Amazon, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flipkart, Myntra. Then there's Nykaa that's really boomed off late. And Amazon. I mean, I'm feeling a little lost here. I
No
have
worries. So
zoned out
maybe
completely.
think in this direction. So for example, say the in total Indian startup market is right now X billion dollars. Okay, and when I talk about market, let's just think that this is the total spending capacity of the startups right now to purchase products like Unity or any other tools they would use to build their businesses. So Indian startup business economy is something separate. That would be their market. Our market would
Mhm.
be startups who are willing to spend money on products like these to enhance their product, to enhance their experiences, and hence their spending power totally would be our target market, or the total size of the market. So if you think about
Right.
that, then how can we arrive at such a number? Maybe we can think about what should be our target segment within the startup market. Are we saying that we will only target the top 10 players of the market? Then your approach should sound good, where you will identify which are the top players in the Indian startup market right now, and try and
Mhm.
identify their spending power. So and we will categorically say that we will only target the top strata of the startups, because our product is superior, we are going to charge more money, so smaller startups will not be able to afford us anyway. So no
Okay.
point trying to think about them. So we are only going to think about the top 5 or 6 startups, and somehow try to identify what kind of spending power they would have, what kind of money they would be willing to spend on tools like this, and maybe arrive at a number.
Okay. Mm,
So if you look at the funnel, total
oh,
Indian startup market, then
yeah.
spending power, then our target segment, then our product.
ये नहीं हो रहा है.
Don't give up. Just think for some time.
Embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing. It's
I
fine.
नहीं हो रहा. नहीं हो रहा. Okay.
Okay. So what what
So
what
this
what
is the test.
what are you
Okay.
thinking? Just walk me through what are you thinking.
I'm unable to think anything. I'm just sort of lost. Like, okay, so what I'm thinking is, let's say, and I'm totally assuming then,
Yeah.
if the total market size would be, say, $100 billion,
Mm-hmm.
for example, or 100 billion rupees.
Yep.
And then if I were to take the top 10 startups, right? Top 10 startups, let's say, again, going to the e-com bucket
Mm-hmm.
would be, um, or top five, because I can name top five right now. So
Yeah.
Flipkart, Myntra, Nykaa,
Yeah.
Amazon, and
We can still simplify. We can say that top 10 market players are capturing 80% of the market. So we are not even bothered about who
okay,
are within that 10.
who
We
they
just
are.
want that
All right.
80%. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 100 billion top 10. All right, yeah. So top 10, take 80%, which is $80 billion, 80 billion rupees. Okay. And their spending power. So uh, typically, whatever their annual spends are, their marketing budget goes to 40 to 60% is the spend on marketing. And if that is what they're spending, then our product, how would Unity be, what would Unity be priced at?
It will be at a premium price because since you were saying that we are targeting the premium category, so we can say that it will be at least 10 to 15% higher price than its competitors,
Okay.
and we can use the Oracle brand name for it.
Yeah, and I did a little, I was digging in a little deeper and I was trying to understand what the competition looks like. And Unity does offer a more comprehensive solution than any other out there at the moment, from what
Mhm.
I could, as far as I was able to dig. So, yeah, so definitely, while it'll be a little more pricier than the competitors, it will be worth uh,
Yep.
the amount. Okay. So, so 80% of the top would be 80 billion then. And
Mhm.
given, let's say that they are going to put about 50 to 60% of their budget, of their total spends, their 50% their spending power, right?
Mhm.
Of the 80 billion. So that's 40 billion, out of which that's their marketing, that's they want to put towards growth in marketing. And out of that 10 to, so I think 10 billion INR would be, I don't know, it's not right on that.
Okay, that's the final figure you have. Actually, we should not be
Yeah,
even bothered about the figure. I'm only concerned about the funnel.
the,
Yeah.
okay,
So because it depends on the total assumption, whatever you have taken, the number will arrive in such a fashion. So I think, yeah,
right.
that would be a good way to go down the sizing path. You'll have to think about the total market, and because as you said, some of these spends would be, so the 60% spends are only towards growth and marketing. Within that, there could be multiple things. This is just one platform or one spend item within that, so we can still do one more filter, 10% drop or 50% drop, and we can eventually arrive at that figure. So yeah, okay, maybe you have already got the approach. That's fine. Cool. Maybe we can move to something which you should be more comfortable with, given that now the target segment. Now that we are only targeting the premium startups in India right now. How would you come up with a positioning statement for this product?
Okay. So for positioning, I would first list down all the benefits
Yep.
of
Yeah. In the second question, we have already found
the
the top
benefits.
two benefits. Yeah.
Yes, the benefits. Okay, so I'll just put them together. Just give me a second. Yeah. So first thing is stick data and individual profiles of customers, right? Okay. So how does these three features then, or how does these three benefits transfer into value? What value do they give to? Will
Mhm.
they give to the startup?
Yep.
That you're understanding your customers better. and uh, giving them a better experience. That would be the value that these three benefits would be deriving out of. After
Mhm.
that, and okay. So, what are the customer pain points that you'd be solving? One customer pain point is this constant spamming that's happening at the moment in from all quarters. Whether you give your um, even when you're giving your phone number somewhere, most of the people are asking for email and phone, and then first thing majorly is, I do not want spam calls or emails or uh, SMSs on my phone.
Mhm.
So so okay, so that is one, that it's constant spamming, and two, everything that's coming to the consumer right now is pretty generic, may or may not be relevant to me, and I would just be deleting things, getting them constantly, deleting them, filtering them out. And in that, one thing that would get missed is that because I'm not reading everything, I may be really missing something that is of importance to me. So my value proposition, then my positioning would be tailor your customer's experience. Tailor. Okay, so tailor your marketing um, activities to connect on a one-on-one basis with your consumer.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. All right. So now you have this positioning statement, and this has been approved by your board members, let's say, and by the top management. Now what you need to do is you basically need to get into a room with the product managers and the engineers and designers, and basically, build a vision for them. What are you doing? How are you building it? Of course, they already have the basic version of the product ready, and
Right.
with, aligned with this positioning statement, maybe you are uh, suggesting X number of new features, saying that
Okay.
these will be some of the features which we could add into a product, and this will help us achieving this positioning statement better in the market, and eventually capture a higher percentage of the market. So how would you go about aligning these most important stakeholders for you?
Okay. So once this value proposition is ready, the brief it's been given a go ahead. Um, bring together the team, and I will take them. I will first prepare a deck as to how I have arrived at this value proposition. Right, take some key insights from consumers, some data that I will base this proposition out of. Prepare that deck, have a meeting with all the stakeholders together, and present it to them. And also, after the end of that presentation, offer certain features that I see that would bring value to the to our customer to whom we are going to sell, and then open up the house for questions if they have any, and we can then come to a consensus and see what works, what doesn't work, and that's how I would approach it.
Okay, so the product manager was really happy with the proposition, and he's saying, okay, wow, brilliant, we are now going to add these 5 things to the backlog. But at the same time, the engineering head was maybe not that happy. He was saying that, why are we targeting a startup segment where Oracle has been a company who is only into maybe established players or bigger companies, and he's just not convinced about the fact that this positioning statement resonates with the product Oracle is, or the brand Oracle is. So how do you counter that?
Okay. So, and he is not also happy with the fact that we're going to be targeting startups.
It doesn't seem that he understood it properly. So why startups?
Okay, so then I will explain to him the reason behind going for startups, the market sizing. I would give him that there is a lot of capacity there for us to get in and exploit, and also explain to him about what Unity stands for as a brand, what Oracle stands for as a brand, and then how they marry each other into this positioning, which is going to bring value to the company. I would then base it on some data. And if he has any further questions, I would listen to him to understand where he's coming from and try to logically answer all of that with some data, obviously, backing my argument in data.
Okay, all right. Now, okay, that part is okay. He is convinced now. He says, now I will need 6 months to build these somehow, which did
Okay.
not fit your go-to-market plan. You were supposed to release it in the next 90 days. Then what would be your next move?
Then we would get into prioritizing the features. So let's say whatever features there are, I would look at them whether they would, depending on what features taking what time, will it have any value for the customer and will it really be helpful in drawing in or getting us more revenue. So basis on the pros and cons of each feature uh, on these scales of revenue, value to customer, and take how much time they're going to take to build, then we'll arrive at a consensus, prioritize the features accordingly, and then take them on one by one.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, so far so good. Now maybe everything is done now. Engineering team is convinced they are going to build it out in the next 30 days. Your major target for the next 30 days is to come up with a go-to-market plan. Of course, you cannot take the entire 3 months. You'll have say 1 month to come up with the plan, get it approved from everyone, and then start executing each of these steps. So what would be your approach of breaking down a go-to-market plan for a product like this? Take 2 minutes and think about it.
Okay, so since it's a B2B product, it will differ in how I would approach a go to market plan for a B2C product. Um, I will first get in place a deck which takes a leap from what I did last for the internal stakeholder presentation, give it a holistic view of the product of Unity, then the customer pain points that are currently there, which Unity will address, a picture of the competitive market landscape right now, what they're doing, and what is there on offer. And once that is ready, and all my internal stakeholders that would be uh, key to this presentation or would have to have a buy-in on what I'm going to sell. This is that I am going to have, and then I'm going to create some enablement materials for the sales team as well. Get them on board, get everybody onboarded. Then all my activities would be centered upon getting in touch, since it's just key 10 startups. Let's say we're targeting the top 10 startups, getting into aligning a meeting with them, giving them a demo, and possibly maybe even for starters giving them a free subscription for, let's say, try it out for a month or try this out for a quarter. that kind of a thing that would be my approach to begin with for this product.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. All right, I think functional part I have already covered. Just one more question on the behavioral piece. So, if you have to think about your strength and opportunity areas, like what you excel at and what are the things that you could still improve, what would be each three in these two categories for you?
Okay. um I think my strengths are that I'm empathetic, and I am observant. So I okay. Do you need me to back these up with some
No, no, that's
examples from
fine.
maybe
That's
my
fine.
okay?
You can
And
like
I
you can. That's fine. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, it's okay if you don't. But if you have, more than happy to hear them out.
okay. And my third one would be that I push past obstacles. Those would be my three key strengths. Um, and to state an example, um, while when I was working with McCann and working on Chyawanprash, so Chyawanprash as a brand, it comes into it's active only for about 3 or 4 months of the year, starting from the start of the rainy season to about November, from the onset of the winters, when we're really deep diving into all activities and being active. And since it's Dabur's flagship brand, because even in that period of 3 months, it's a 360 crore brand. This is, I'm talking way back in 2013. With 60% market share, it was the market leader. So it kind of is very high stakes for both Dabur and McCann to ensure that everything goes well on the brand activities and stuff. And then so we start all marketing activities in April, as early as April, when we start doing the initial dipsticks and where we're at and how things work. Because by then the sales reports are in, we know how the brand has done. So at that point, I had my boss there who was at loggerheads with a very key stakeholder who was the head of the creative team. And both of them are, they need to work together in tandem. He needs to be on board with what she's saying, she needs to be on board with what he's saying. But that wasn't really happening, and they kind of had their egos in the middle and all of that. So um, I was observant where there was a lot of passive aggression that I noticed on his part as well and on her part as well. So I tried to kind of mitigate that by coming in the middle, and I spoke to him. I obviously built relationships, so it's not always like, you're going to work, so you're just going to work. You obviously also build your relationships with those people. And then I asked him, I said, is there an, I asked him point blank, and he said no. And I told him that I've been noticing a few things and all of that. So there was a big hurdle there where they weren't able to come on the same page with each other, to a point where they didn't want to eventually even have a meeting together. So then I told him, okay, you have a meeting with me, you take me on and tell me where you're at. So I used to just keep going and ensuring that, there will be no obstacle in the creation of that campaign. And when we go to present to the client, we're going to be on brand and on strategy. And having these little 5-10 minute chats and walk-ins with him in him. And then I used to go back and tell my boss as well, because she also wanted the work to progress and all. So at the end of it, we had a successful presentation with the client. We did, and thankfully I was doing that because there were a couple of things that were missing that were key to the brand, to Chyawanprash, and to the client, that we say these things in our narrative. And those were missing, and we were able to plug them in because I was able to build a relationship with the senior guy and, get him that, yes, keep me on board with whatever you're doing. So I am persistent that way, and I try to push past obstacles to get the work done. So those would be my key three things. The three things that I want to improve on. Um, I am a little too. I tend to get a little too thorough and be a perfectionist in what I'm doing, and that sort of somewhere I feel that holds me back in completing my tasks quickly. And I want it to look a certain way and be a certain way and have that sort of finesse. Um, Second, I would actually try to take empathy in the second one here in this bucket, because sometimes I get too empathetic and then, end up taking on more than I can chew with comfort. That, okay, if somebody needs to go, like there was a boss, and it was during my notice period again back in McCann, and I was due to move to Stockholm at the end of 2 weeks, and he said, I it's my 10th anniversary and I need to go on a trip, but I can't. And it was at that point where we didn't have a client servicing director. I was an account director, and I just started, and I was managing everything with the general manager. And he said, and I said, look, I was looking at taking the days off and preparing for my move. And he said, no, but it's, my anniversary and all. I was like, oh, okay, I wouldn't have felt nice being in his shoes and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, fine. You go enjoy your days in Jaipur and I will be here. And I took those extra days from my travel prep to be at work and ensure that everything was flowing smoothly. Uh, so yeah, that was the second thing. And two, um, I think I'm a very fast learner, but yeah, it takes time for me to sort of get going on it, on things, especially technological things. But once I do start, it's a very smooth journey, and then I enjoy it. And then I think, why was I I take time to test waters. So yeah, that would be my third thing that I would want to be getting better at, which I realize I shouldn't be saying in an interview.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's about it. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do. So you are now going to be coming into India. So from what I understand, you're putting together a completely new team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And okay. What would the team structure look like? Who would I be reporting into?
Yeah. So
And
we have a GTM leader here, which we whom we have specially hired for our India operations. So we'll be directly
okay.
reporting into him. He will be working along with the product leader that we would have in India, and so that is why your job will be revolving more around the product team and talking to the engineering team as well sometimes, but majorly the product team will take care of that. But whenever there is an alignment issue, or there is a question regarding the go to market plans, or the timings of hitting the market, or how we are doing in terms of execution of the go to market strategy, those kind of things you will have to handle.
um,
Yeah.
and how long have you been with the company?
I am also a recent joinee. It has been 6 months now. I'm able to grasp the company, the domain. Previously, I was working in a different domain, so it took me some time to
Okay.
understand how it works, because B2B products are typically a bit different from a B2C angle. But
Right.
India is familiar to me. I have worked there before, and I love how the economy is growing. So excited to be a part of it again.
And do you like working? Is it a good culture working at Oracle? And
Mhm.
or,
Yeah, yeah, sure. Why
what has
not?
your
Oracle
experience been
has
in
been
Oracle?
there for such a long time. I'm sure that a lot of people have come in and then left, and then this is a cycle that will go around anyway. It's a personal preference, I would say. I have been a
Right.
part of multiple MNCs, and I like the culture. I like the policies. I like the different perks that you have. That's there for sure. At the same time, I think with this type of products where we are targeting startups, the velocity of the products that we are going to ship out is also going to be fast. So with a settled company, we are going to move like a startup. So that is what's the most exciting part for me.
That's nice. Now, one last and final question: when can I
Yeah.
expect to hear back from you?
I would just speak to the HR, and you should get a call back real soon. All right.
I bombed the interview. Oh my god. I
Let's
would
take.
not wait to even hear back from you. I like at the end you'll tell me, भैया नहीं हो पाएगा, तुम तो रहने ही दो. Oh
नहीं नहीं, ऐसा
god.
नहीं होता. Like, you are only thinking from your perspective, right? That okay, I did this, I did that, but the interviewer had a totally different mindset altogether. So he was trying to help you out. He was trying to just get you done with the flow of how are you going to approach your job, your role, and a problem
Right.
statement when you get it, right? So
I
it's
think I got too carried away in trying to do it like an assignment where,
yeah,
work with
yeah,
details where I should have just been about my approach. Yeah.
yeah. And it matters what is the company and what is the profile a lot of times, but sometimes if the interviewer himself is maybe new, or he's not coming with the mindset of judging you around the product itself and maybe a generic
Mhm.
approach, it could be totally different, so you cannot even predict that, right? So
Right.
best bet is to know the product well and know the role well of what are you supposed to do, and
Mm-hmm.
revolve all your answers that you do during the interview or before the prep. Everything should be revolving around that. That's the safest bet, just in case the interviewer was not prepared with the role himself and he was just asking random questions. That's a separate thing anyway, you can't predict that. So in a
Mm-hmm.
case where the interviewer is serious and sincerely taking this interview round, he would be prepared with questions which are relevant to your role. So in that case, it's the
Right.
safest bet. That's how I would have approached it. Okay, in terms of hiring,
Okay.
I think more or
Would
less
you
it
call
was
me
okay.
back?
Given that you have resumed this experience after a long time, and this must be a totally different experience altogether, because I think the questions were also a little bit bouncer. I designed it in such a way that it were bouncers, just to make you uncomfortable and see how you react.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is going to help you, because इससे ज़्यादा नहीं गंदा questions पूछेंगे. This is what this is max they can do. Of course, they can also come up with mathematical puzzles, and ये सब चीजें भी होती है interviews में. It's not uncommon. But let's see. And
Then I'll
उसमें
make sure Manav is sitting right next to me behind the scene and he's seeing whatever
does
he's
not
picking.
matter. उस case में you just don't give up. So the only thing I disliked was that you gave up. You shouldn't have given up.
Yeah.
कुछ भी हो जाए, नहीं आ रहा है तो ठीक है, लाइक रैंडम उसको बता दो कि हाँ ये 100 है तो ये 80 है, इतना ही मेरे को पता है, बट नो नेवर गिव अप कि नहीं हो पाएगा, ऐसे नहीं करना
वो
चाहिए.
अप्रोच ही नहीं, एक्चुअली दिमाग उतना ना गया
राइट,
ही
और
नहीं, वो
यू
एकदम
जस्ट फ्रोज
नंबर्स
एट
में
दैट
चला
टाइम.
गया कि मुझे नंबर्स तो पता नहीं है और क्या वो करना है, कैसे,
राइट,
लाइक ओ, बट
ऑलराइट.
अदरवाइज हाउ डिड आई डू, लाइक
See, rest of the things were
क्विज़
okay.
या
I think yeah, I'll just quickly go through my notes. मैंने क्या क्या कहाँ पे लिख रखा है. So regarding the introduction, right? Introduction was a bit brief. You could have told me a little bit more about each of the roles and what you exactly did in that. Not like पूरा drama, but एक दो line. So for example, I'm
ओके
working with as a marketing consultant with this product. This is a X product, and within that, I
दैट आई
am
एम
doing
डूइंग,
Y. Right. So your
ओके
impact and the product should be clearly laid out, so that interviewer also knows that what are you doing right now.
ओके
Okay. And that would be with all your roles that you want to mention. Typically, how I start my interviews, that I start with my education itself. मैं पूरा chronologically समझा देता हूँ उसको, एक एक लाइन सबका, कि this was my engineering, उसके बाद I did MBA, I learned XYZ, फर्स्ट कंपनी में मैंने ये सीखा, सेकंड में ये सीखा, थर्ड में मैं अभी ये कर रहा हूँ, और फोर्थ में आगे ये करना चाहता हूँ. And that's how I see my
ओके
career, and that's how I end my introduction, and then open it up to questions.
ओके ओके.
Right, so speak about your past, like how your role has been evolving so far, and how are you going to take that experience for this company, for this next role, and making it reach the next level. That's how you should start your story.
और इसमें अगर सीखा, क्या-क्या सीखा, और उससे अगर जैसे कॉलेज में था एंड एक वन अचीवमेंट एट दैट पॉइंट वाज दैट आई वाज द ओनली in the history of the sociology department in my college, I was the only president. The teachers elected, they said that we want this girl as the president, we're not going to have an election.
Mhm.
So if something like that, can I just say it up front and
Yeah, you
be
can say
like,
it. Like these are important milestones in your career, right? So at least you think so. Does not matter what the interviewer is thinking. That is your story you are
"Mhm,
telling him, right? So you should be
okay,
clear about these are XYZ things I've already done, and that is why I think I am a good candidate for this role, because that's the implicit
okay,
message anyway.
okay, all right."
So if you remember, I think in the last interview, Rohan started with his achievements with Toastmasters Club, which was not relevant as not directly connected to the role, I would say, but again,
Right.
that helped me, knowing about him as a person or his interest, or what are the extra things he's doing. These kind of things are really exciting for the interviewer, and sometimes they lead to conversations which you are comfortable with. मान लो आपने कुछ ऐसा बोल दिया which was really interesting, then you dig deeper, and since you are comfortable, you will just drive the interview around that particular thing and maybe connect
True.
a lot of dots, and so that story would be more sellable, is what I think.
Yeah. Rohan guy noticed his interview also was more free flowing, like a
Yeah,
conversation between you
yeah,
and him
yeah.
than ours was. Ours was very ये question में answer, ये question में answer.
But if you see, like I was thinking in the same flow. So I started
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
introduction, right? Then I moved into
yeah.
digital versus physical, then market sizing, then stakeholder
Yeah, and
management,
it was a
positioning.
gradual progression कि ठीक है ये
Yeah,
हो गया अब ये बता अब इसके आगे next stage तो पूरा
right,
एक
right.
cycle
Ideally you could have also driven the interview in that sort. Agar as an interviewer I was not prepared कि मुझे ये पूछना है, तो you could have
hmm.
also like tried and driven the conversation around that. कि देखो
Okay.
यार, मैंने फिजिकल प्रोडक्ट मार्केटिंग मैनेजर के रोल में ये चीजें की थी, एक्स चीजें, उसमें से आई थिंक देयर आर वाइड ट्रांसफरेबल स्किल्स टू डिजिटल प्रोडक्ट एज वेल, एंड दैट्स हाउ आई सी माई सेल्फ ए फिट. तो वो भी एक मैसेज आपका हो सकता है. दैट इज व्हाई आई आस्क्ड क्या क्या डिफरेंस यू थिंक आर देयर. And
Okay.
one common comment for everything is that pause to think. Don't just jump away right into the answers. Just think. I want to say this for could be, especially for the problems like market sizing, positioning statement. You have to be thorough about what you're trying to say, right? You don't just want to tell stuff which the interviewer did not even understand. So, 2 minute
Right.
low, note down say 6 points and just make a flow out of it. Tell the interviewer, I'm going to take 2 minutes to think and structure my answer. Write it down. Just say you are done, just first summarize what was your process of coming about the answer. Okay, I thought in
Okay.
this framework and this is how I am approaching this problem. Okay, अगर उसमें किसी को
Okay.
प्रॉब्लम होगा, उसी में इंटरव्यू बोल देगा कि मैं I don't understand or whatever, then you explain him more or maybe take time to think about the new approach if that was not working, because otherwise you will reach to the answer but it will turn out that उसको approach ही नहीं समझ
वो
आया.
approach नहीं चाहिए था.
Right, so first align on the approach. Once you are done with the approach, then you tell him, okay, with as per this approach, these are the 5 points I have noted down, and then walk him through the everything. That's how I will go about each and every question that was asked during the second half of the interview.
Okay. You know, I got a little conscious, like I was doing that. I had my pen and paper and I
It
wrote down,
happens, it happens.
but I started getting conscious that, you know, what if you're thinking that I'm taking too
Yeah,
much time or why am I writing again? And
yeah,
uh,
yeah. So that is why it helps. अगर पहले ही आप बोल दो कि मैं 2 मिनट तो लेने ही वाली हूँ, so does not matter what you're thinking. So just calm down for 2 minutes, write them down. Once you are done, if you are done early, then it's fine. You will be surprised कि 2 मिनट मांगा था but 1 मिनट में कर दिया इसने. So, right, that's good.
okay, okay, that I'll remember because yeah. And you know, advertising के interview का scene ना बड़ा अजीब होता था. And it was because word of mouth, the person already knows about you, he's
Yeah,
heard about you, it's a small industry. So it
yeah,
was a completely different and इतना technical या कुछ तो होता नहीं था. वो जाके पूछता
right,
5 favorite brands, 5 ads you like, 5 ads you don't like. बस हो
right.
गया.
Okay.
बाकी आप बता दो प्रोसेस कैसा है.
Mm.
आप क्लाइंट को मतलब do you have a problem in working extra hours or something like that. And
Mm.
that was
See,
like okay, okay.
how I would approach this is that I think advertising, marketing, these are like creative skills. These are not pure science, right? I think of them as a gray area always. Like there are approaches, there are fine prints, there is historical data and approaches, but you never know what's going to work out in the real life. So ये हमेशा एक टेस्ट वाला ही टेस्टिंग टाइप का ही फंडा होता है. और जो क्रिएटिव लोग होते हैं दे सर्वाइव एंड थ्राइव बेटर इन दिस वर्ल्ड, राइट? तो आई एम नॉट श्योर वैसे इंटरव्यूज कैसे कंडक्ट होते होंगे फॉर क्रिएटिव स्किल्स, बट product management again is a mix of creativity and practical skills, or technical skills. So it's a balance. So if you are
Right.
someone who is creative, then you have an upper hand which other systematic or क्या बोलेंगे like very methodical guys may not have. That is one advantage that you can maybe pivot your profile
Yeah.
towards, and project yourself as someone who brings in the creativity to the table. And that will be true for both product marketing roles as well as product manager roles, because naturally you will be more comfortable with designers, you'll be more comfortable with marketing people if you are not in the product marketing role but as a normal product manager role. So you will have the upper hand in terms of communicating with those people. There could be slight challenges regarding, you know, being technically aware and technically sound. That's why I was focusing more into the director of engineering को आप कैसे convince करूँगा, because he is from a totally different background. You will have to think about
Hmm.
what he needs or what he wants to hear when you want to convince someone like him. So it was a good approach that you said, I will tell him the market sizing, I'll tell him the revenues. That's something that could excite him, because you may not have any points of how it could technically improve your product or technically benefit your product. So whatever is your expertise, you should always have your boat around that concept. That's fine. That was well handled. Positioning statement was well done. The market sizing was the, I think, biggest bouncer. वो थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा हो गया. So basically, whenever you approach
मुझे
market
वो
sizing, right?
पेट्रोल वाला असाइनमेंट आ गया।
I was thinking, मुझे यही लग रहा था कि I
वो
think इसके दिमाग में वही चल रहा है, पेट्रोल वाला assignment चल रहा है.
वो चला और उसके बाद मुझे एंड देन आई रिमेम्बर्ड कि मैंने क्या किया था एंड देन यू सेंड एंड आई यू हैड गिवन फीडबैक एंड वो मेरा एक बुकमार्क ही रह गया कि हाँ आई हैव टू गो अबाउट सीइंग ये अप्रोच कैसी है। ओ भाई साहब एंड आई वाज लाइक ओ शिट आई डिडंट डू दिस दैट्स व्हाई दिस इज कमिंग टू मी एंड
Right.
उस सब में ना आई टोटली
Blanked out.
हो गया कि and big numbers scare me
Hmm.
sometimes, like if I just
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you rattle out something and if I have to do that,
Yeah.
I am not very good at that and
Yeah.
I'll be like okay.
Cool.
So yeah.
So yeah, so estimates and market sizing में one skeleton approach you can follow is that first figure out the funnel. What is the funnel? Just forget about all the numbers, everything. Funnel is the first thing you need to do. कैसे आप अपने उस नंबर पे पहुंचोगे जो आपको क्वेश्चन में पूछा है. व्हाट इज दैट नंबर, हाउ इज दैट मेड अप ऑफ. इफ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट मार्केटिंग स्पेंड ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर कंपनी, हाउ कैन आई arrive at the marketing spend of a particular company? First of all, they have to have revenues, they have to have some profits, they have to have budget allocation for marketing. अगर ये चीज नहीं calculated है, then मुझे कोई पता ही नहीं चलेगा कितना. So जब आप थिंक करोगे, आपको उस उतने डीप लेवल पे थिंक करना है. यू विल नॉट से इट आउट ऑल लाउड. ऑफ कोर्स यू कैन, but you know the interviewer might not be interested. So that is why when you are thinking in those 2 minutes, all these are the questions that are going around in your mind. Okay, and you can break it up in
शुरुआत यहीं से हुई थी.
हाँ,
वो
right.
जब नंबर्स आ गए ना दिमाग में
Yeah.
तो वो सब छूट गया कि यार
हाँ.
कुछ तो ये
So
पता ही
what
नहीं है.
you could have done was, once you are done with the funnel, now that you know that there are 5 things I need to calculate, then you check with the interviewer once and figure out whether you are on the right path or not. That's with every question. Whenever you feel कि ये question तो bouncer है ही है, always confirm with the interviewer, am I going in the right direction? Can you help me out? I'm not understanding. Can you help me out? That's fine. That's fine too. At least I think that's fine. Okay. And so funnel आपने कर लिया. If funnel is okay, he says okay, then you go ahead with the assumptions and estimates. Each of these bullet, how will I calculate? Do I have all the numbers? Can I assume these numbers? If you don't have the numbers, assume and go ahead, not a problem. That was the second part. Third part was the calculation. 20%, 10% का final जो भी answer है, that was calculation. उसमें कितना mark नहीं है, but I would see these 3 things when I evaluate a estimation question. Funnel क्या है, estimates क्या क्या है each of the steps में, and final calculation में कितना accuracy है जो भी है.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Second point was the persuasion
I
question.
wanted to end the call and run away, पता है. I was
Why?
like, what if I just go
That would have been horrible.
I would have done that, and I was like, nahi, I was contemplating that should I just tell him, listen, let's not do this now, okay, bye, and रख के चले जाओ, like should I ghost him? And then I said, no, let me be honest कि नहीं हो रहा है मुझसे अभी, like I
facing
am
your fear is the best thing you can do. That's good that you stayed put.
You know, I
Also,
don't think I would have so much pressure in appearing for a job interview that I've had with you. I have spent 3 days practicing. Like I have notes and I have all questions. इतना तो मैंने वो कल का HR राउंड के लिए भी नहीं किया था.
so what kind of questions did you prepare for and you thought I would be asking?
I don't know. I just prepared for everything. I said that, you know, okay, maybe value proposition I prepared for that. If you ask me, then how am I going to approach that? Then I prepared for, if you're going to ask me कि मेरे कौन से skills हैं and how am I going to map it to product management, then I had situations. वो पूरे star metrics पे मैंने सारे लिखे हैं. Leadership, successes, challenges, mistakes, conflicts. Then I also thought of, if you'll ask me, do I have a favorite app? Why? why not? And then I was so Bhavna से थोड़ी देर पहले बात हो रही थी. She keeps sending me these tidbits on Insta. So she said, I said, हाँ बस 5 things an interviewer will ask you. तो उसमें I said exactly मेरे से ना ये favorite app वाला नहीं हो पा रहा. She said, why? Take any app that you use and you know UI UX के साथ कर दो. मैंने कहा मैं ना UI UX तक तो ठीक है, but I want to delve a bit deeper and I want to kind of link it to a pain point that app is addressing somewhere for the customer. So that I was kind of not getting. और फिर मैंने case study में कैसे जाना है और वो मेरे को पता ही था केस स्टडी तो आएगी क्योंकि PM interview
it's not an exam again. You need to get out of this exam mindset. It's a talk, it's a conversation. At max ऐसा होगा कि बंदा literally केस ही लेके आएगा कि भाई ये दो गधे थे, दो बेच दिया, कितने बचे, ऐसे टाइप के क्वेश्चंस अगर वो लेके आता है then that's a case study. Otherwise you just go blank and just go with the flow. You prepare too much. I think that's why you are also a bit nervous.
Then
or
favorite product, favorite app, favorite website, favorite physical product, favorite company product.
I like to see how people get surprised when I don't ask these questions.
I messaged Bhavna. Actually, before she sent me that thing on Insta, I messaged her. I said, listen, in all of your interviews, what were you asked? Were you asked app you like? Were you asked this thing? आपने रोहन को भी पूछा था कि अगर इस चीज मो एंगेज के तुम PM हो तो कैसे करोगी? मैं कहा तो इन दोनों में से क्या आया? कहती कुछ भी नहीं आया कभी, बस स्टेक होल्डर मैनेजमेंट और ये वो पूछा. मैंने कहा वो आएगा तो आई एम सॉर्टेड. वो स्टार मैट्रिक्स पे लिख लिया मैंने पूरा सारा STAR ऐसा है. ठीक है.
Alright, great. हाँ, so the conflict वाला जो था problem, basically managing the stakeholders. You started with a common theme saying that I will prepare deck, I will get the people in room. One thing you could have done was think about the stakeholders in silos. So, okay, product management team is going to be there, engineering team is going to be there, and I'm going to identify 3 or 2 things for each of these cohorts so that they are in line with what I'm trying to put across the message. Because just like I said, सबके motivations different होते हैं. So it's good to identify motivations before we get into a negotiation sort of, because this is sort of a negotiation, right? You are trying to convince them that they need to build something new.
This you're saying where I had to present the value proposition to the internal team.
Product and engineering, yeah. Then go-to-market, I think, was well done. You started with thinking B2B versus B2C. That was good because both of these products will have a different approach. Then the steps within the go-to-market plan was also, I think, on point. All of the points were covered. Sorry. Last questions were strengths and opportunities. That was also well done. Only thing I would add is for each of the opportunity area, you should also mention what are you doing right now to improve them.
Okay.
Right. So you said I'm suffering at this X item, but I have taken these 3 steps which are going to help me, and I'm comfortable right now that I'll be able to achieve my goal. Something like that. Just don't be too much pushy about it, and it should not feel too structured. But at the same time, if you could just give an idea of what you are doing about to make that opportunity a strength of yourself. At the same time, maybe मुझे ऐसा लगा कि दोनों at least first 2 चीजें were like strengths hiding as opportunities. उसमें थोड़ा सा you can work upon. Maybe you can think of something else which is a genuine opportunity rather than, because things like being a perfectionist, or what was the second point I forgot. इन दोनों में ऐसा हो सकता है that interviewer thinks that this is a standard approach to answer opportunity problem, because most of us do it. We think in such a way that actually ये skill ही है, but at some time empathy was good. Empathy was totally on point. That is something that I can feel, because that was a genuine problem. If you are empathic, then आप उसको कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते, वो आपके अगेंस्ट भी काम करेगा ही at some point in time. But perfectionist वाला थोड़ा सा चेंज करके आप you can think of something else. Third one was also good. I forgot what was the third one.
Third one was that I take time to test waters.
Yeah, that's fine. That's I think genuine. Yeah. All
perfectionist wala na, because meko I have realized that because of that na I tend to push.
Right. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. So you can maybe rephrase it in some way that I'm afraid to put out things till I'm convinced it's the best. So I'm somehow, that is again,
Okay.
it's a different way of saying I'm a perfectionist, but you put it in a way that you are afraid of it, or you don't like it, but you are working on it.
ठीक है.
I'm scared to put out stuff easily. I know I have to take 10 revisions to put out something because I'm scared. Sometimes I'm not confident of myself. ऐसे करके थोड़ा सा उसको bend कर सकते हैं.
Like I'll read also continuously. ये ठीक है, ये ठीक है, ये आया
Right,
कि नहीं
right.
आया.
That's an
What can I
operational
do?
headache, right? So you can say that it increases my operations a bit because I worry too much about how the opinion is going to be. You can link it in in that way, because it's not always about pleasing yourself. In roles like these, you'll always be working with someone else. So being a perfectionist always comes with this thing that यार बाकी लोग क्या, मतलब I am not proud of what I have put out. That's the perfectionist mindset, right?
ठीक है. Got it.
Okay.
Would you call me back?
I would have called you back. Yeah, I think from a role perspective, you will not be doing market sizing each and every day. There will be some analyst team which who is going to help you out. So on the core questions like stakeholder management, thinking about value proposition, thinking about go-to-market plan, those were on point. So I would have called you. There will always be like 30 to 40% questions which they will expect you that you will not be able to answer. So just forget about those.
Really?
No one is expect, no, of course, no. अगर किसी ने 100% कर दिया तो मैं तो बोलूंगा he's over qualified. छोड़ो, उसको नहीं हो पाएगा. There must be something I think, of course, there will be interviews where people will be on like they know everything, but उस case में या तो ऐसा होगा कि maybe salary expectations different है because he's already typically क्या होता है pain point that मुझे अभी current role में I am saturated in my current role, either in terms of monetary benefits or in terms of learning benefit. That is why I am seeking out a bigger role where there is some opportunity. So of course your 100% skills will be not 100% for the new role. It will be say 90% or 95%. So थोड़ा gap तो रहेगा. अगर नहीं gap है, then you are not evolving as a professional, right? So at the end of the day, that's not a good thing for me. You will soon run out of you will be soon in the same position कि नहीं हो रहा, या तो पैसा नहीं हो रहा, या तो knowledge नहीं हो रहा. So ये भी छोड़ के चले जाओगे आप. So I'll always assume that जो भी मेरा perfect fit होगा, 95% ready, 5% I can mentor and bring him towards my side. Of course, I'm not the HR. I'm just a product guy, just blurting out stuff. But you can believe me.
But that's a lot of help. I mean, at least today has been good. And again, I don't know if I'm going to have the call with her on Monday because I had mailed her 11 o'clock. She was asking me what time, and I wanted to again tell her whatever time you choose. And then I said, no, I'm going to be a product manager. I have to start taking the session. Starts now, 11 a.m. on Monday. Uska jawab nahi aaya. So
अच्छा है ना, that she should also know that everyone has priorities, and now that you know her profile and all, just try and stalk her a bit. Don't do illegal stalking, but know about her, what she does. If possible, just try and gather what could be some common talking points between you and her, just in case things go south. You need something to distract her. हाँ, थोड़ा सा करके हो जाता है, because I have found it very useful. कभी भी अगर मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये question नहीं solve हो रहा है, then I'll try and try telling something which is maybe common to both of us and try and link that problem to that. So कुछ ना कुछ थोड़ा दिमाग लगा सकते हैं. So it helps to know your interviewer a bit. अगर आप complete stranger से बात करोगे तो you will have no idea what she's thinking or what she's doing. So it's easier if we connect on some different points other than the role or other than the job. Anything that you know about her could be helpful for you. You can think of examples which can be relevant for her. Agar मान लो she is from a specific industry or domain where there is one example that she asked right now and आपके दिमाग में आया that this could be really relevant for her, but I had two examples, this one could be more relevant. You would pick that one because you know her a bit and she can connect with it. So that will help.
मेरे को इनके वेबसाइट पे एक टाइपो मिला, तो फर्स्ट राउंड में ही बता दूं?
बता दो, it's fine. It's fine. You can phrase it in such a way that I was doing the research, or I was going to the page. Oh, by the way, I also found this small mistake which should have, I think should
That's
reach
what
you.
I was thinking.
Yeah.
Again, I had gone to Bhavna had taken a mock for me yesterday morning. She
mock
said
के लिए mock.
Mock नहीं HR
The
वाले
other
round के
other.
लिए. So she asked me a few HR questions. अच्छा, so मेरे को था मैं फोन उठाऊंगी and she'll just go like okay, so I am so and so, tell me about yourself. वो अपना मौसम की बात करने लग गई. तो मुझे आज लाइक ओके देन आई रोल्ड विद इट अ लिटिल एंड आई लेटर आस्क्ड हर, कहती है कोई ऐसे नहीं पूछेगा फोन उठा के
Hmm.
दिस इज व्हाई आई एम
Right,
सो एंड
right.
सो, टेल मी
Yeah,
अबाउट योरसेल्फ.
yeah.
So then I was like, okay, so I can make polite conversation, and at least
Yes.
what she's a talent recruiter or talent something ऐसा designation है जिस call है
Mm-hmm.
पहली.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Right, right.
was
So
also
HR
noticing
ही
वो
है मतलब she
LinkedIn
HR
पे.
function ही है.
हाँ,
She's not related to business and all. So mostly she's going to look at culture fit, पैसा वैसा ये सब चीज plus what is the chances
पैसे
of
को.
you converting the role because HR का main fund outcome क्या होता है? They want people to convert the role if it's a fit, right? So two
Right.
things she will look for is if there is a fit, high level. Second, if the fit is there, are you willing to join it or not? Does it match your financial requirements or requirements in terms of your professional career path? ये दोनों मैच हो जाएंगी तो then she will give you a call.
तो फाइनेंशियल कैसे हैंडल करूं? मेरा फाइनेंशियल इंडिया में था, 50% में अंडरपेड थी,
uh,
इतने साल
do
पहले
a
था.
market do just do a Google and find out what these type of companies typically pay for a role like this. Just go with the blanket one.
मार्केट दे हैव
Glassdoor वगैरह पे देख
रिसेंटली
लो.
ग्लासडोर पे 39,000 पाउंड से लेके 85,000 पाउंड तक का वो है
Okay,
रेंज.
हाँ. So within that range, what would be your sweet spot, right? So talk about that.
कुछ भी दे दो, नौकरी दे दो मुझे, तो
हाँ,
मैं.
वो ऐसे नहीं बोलते हैं ना, ऐसे तो नहीं बोलोगे आप. ऐसे बोलोगे आई एम लुकिंग एट
मैंने.
समथिंग.
हाँ, भावना ने बोला भी यही बोलना, मार्केट रेट से खुश हो.
हाँ, अच्छा, you can start with that also. Since you are on a break right now, so it could be little difficult to answer this question, but you can go with this that I know it has been long, but what I found out from the internet and that this market is paying well, and I'm expecting a competitive package. That's all. Sweet and simple. Then she will also know that she has to offer what the market is offering.
दे हैव 12 पोजीशंस ओपन. देव रिसेंटली, मैंने 2-3 और जेडीज पढ़ ली तो और बैकग्राउंड वगैरह पता लगा. उनको
Right.
भी 25 मिलियन का
Funding है, right.
इन्वेस्ट वो मिला है, फंडिंग मिली है. तो
Yep.
12 पोजीशंस ओपन है अभी यहाँ.
Right, right. So they are going to grow quickly. So अगर आप ये convert कर लेते हो, I think it would be a fast roll, and there would be good scope for moving faster in your career. You can make up for the past couple of years. Right. So
I
even at
hope
the
so.
beginning, yeah. So just try and understand their range or their budget as well, because since you said that कुछ भी हो चलेगा. So let's also try and figure out whatever they are. Uh, what budget do they have? In that case, maybe we can strike a deal, sweet deal
Yeah.
that would be win-win for both of them, because your
Ultimately,
primary
I don't
objective is
want
to
to
learn. Yeah,
land a job. I've never worked for money. In my previous role, I
yeah.
was underpaid by 50% because I wasn't switching and everything.
Hmm.
और दूसरा यही कि but I don't obviously want to be underpaid also. I have to make up
Yeah.
for 9 years of financial, 7 years of financial anda.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me it's very simple, Funda. I am doing my job for two primary reasons. One is money. Second is the profession itself. How do I learn about this profession? I can only do it by practicing. I cannot. There is no formal
Right.
education for product management, unlike what we think. So these are the two things. So one day if I feel that ठीक है, जान लिया सब, कुछ है नहीं अब जानने के लिए, then एक factor मेरा खत्म हो गया. Then the only thing will be money. If the money is
Money.
also I'm also done with money, then I will not work anymore. I'll build something for myself. I'll work on that. Right.
So
So
you're
job
building
should be,
product geek right now.
that's a long term investment, right? By that time I should have enough money so to quit my main job and continue that as a stable income source if
हो
needed.
जाएगा.
That's it.
TPF तो इतना overwhelming. I don't want to do it.
Why? What happened?
It's so large.
Let me
It's
stop the recording. Maybe I think we should not
yeah.
discuss that while it's being recorded.
Do you have any